at Sticky's Finger Joint, and today we are talking about chicken fingers, aptly, but how to make your chicken fingers a little bit more exciting, because I feel like a lot of people, it's a weeknight staple, it's something that people do a lot, but they don't know they can put all sorts of stuff on it. So what's the big key for spicing up your chicken fingers?
Okay, so spicing it up, and it's really, I like to use the term elevating. And so like
elevate your chicken fingers.
Yeah, so well, elevate your chicken fingers and just elevate your taste buds in a sense. So ultimately, first off, you have to have an awesome piece of bird. So the chicken actually has to be really great chicken, fresh chicken.
Right. Don't go to the store and buy frozen chicken finger out of the freezer and expect it to be great.
Yeah, you might as well just fall asleep on your couch and not wake up forever. Yeah, no, so you have to have really great product, and then also you got to really, at the end of the day, it's not just frying up some chicken. There's all these processes that happen to make sure that you have an awesome finger. So first there's like a buttermilk brine, which basically kind of tenderizes the chicken, but to the point where it doesn't actually break down the protein.
Right. What's the time frame for brining?
You don't want to go over 24 hours. We basically, the way our prep schedule works, it gets done around 20 hours. From there, we actually put it into our batter.
I mean, I guess it starts with flour, but can you add a lot of spices in there if you want it to be spicier, or do you tend to want to add them after it's fried?
So there's wet batter, okay, and then there's egg wash and a dry breading that you put on a finger. And if you're doing like an egg wash, you're more than welcome to put some sriracha in the egg wash. You can put marinara in the egg wash. You can put anything you like in that egg wash, because that's really where a lot of the flavor is going to come through. If you were just to put, let's just say, you know, cayenne pepper in the flour while you're breading that actual chicken finger, it's going to burn up in the oil. You can spice it up as much as you want. If you can get your hands on some, you know, ghost chili powder, put it in there for all you want. It's going to really add a lot to it. If you want to even just add something as simple as maple syrup, you can do that too.
And then what about the oil? What type of oil do you recommend using for perfect chicken fingers?
Oil game is crazy. So we use 100% canola oil. The awesome thing about it is that we have an awesome product. It does break down a little bit faster. If you want to use something that has a high smoke point when you're frying.
So let's talk about the toppings, because you guys have really elevated them by not just frying them and not all of the stuff beforehand, but it's really the after. Why is it so important to add the bulk of the flavor after the frying, once your chicken fingers are kind of at their base state?
We eat with our eyes, and that's always been the case, even before a lot of these smart devices. Chicken is this thing that most people hate on because it's flavorless, and I have to kind of say, like, all right, you're not trying hard enough. You can sauce it up any which way you want. We're not gonna just dress things up to make them look pretty for the sake of making them look pretty. It definitely enhances and elevates the flavor profile of the finger. So right here we have like the Desert Storm. We make a homemade hummus tahini. You know, there's like extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, za'atar.
Let's talk about sauce versus spice. You know, you could hit it with some spice if you don't want it to be too wet. You can obviously make a sauce. Or where do you stand on the advantages of sauces versus spices versus combining the two?
So this is personally what I really feel is that you cannot screw with the classic finger. So basically using an organic mesquite powder. Same time, I love taking dips, and it's all about dipping. Like, and there's different ways to look at it. There's more kind of you know, thicker sauces, like at a viscous level, where they're going to adhere to that finger perfectly. Then there's also things like our miso soy ginger, where you don't want to have it coated with all of that sauce, and you just want a little flavor boost.
Are there any sauces that don't work? Like any things that you've tried where you're like, all right, don't do this at home?
The only thing I can think of, like the first thing that hit me was like Marmite. Like I think this is so disgusting. But surprisingly, like there isn't, unless the sauce is just completely bad on its own, it's not going to work with anything. But if you have a good sauce, it's going to work with the chicken finger.
Thank you so much for elevating our chicken finger consumption.
Revolutionary chicken.
Appreciate it here at Sticky's Finger Joint. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right.